Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel. Thanks for logging on. Today, we're discussing the Oris Aquis Staghorn Restoration Limited Edition of 2,000 pieces. You can see this 2017 special edition and purchase it on our website. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you enjoy these videos, and please click on the card in the upper right-hand corner of the screen at any time during this video to see our full sales listing for this watch with additional accessories included in the sale, high-resolution images for your desktop, and naturally complete pricing details for this 1 of 2,000 Staghorn Coral Restoration Limited Edition. This is one of the best recent limited editions from Oris because the color and the theme make sense in the context of a diving watch. Staghorn Coral, and there's image of the coral on the case back of the watch, is a worthwhile marine conservation focus, and this watch is properly targeted to an aquatic sports or naturalist perspective that could appreciate both the diving lifestyle as well as the importance of conserving natural resources. So consistent with the mission of the dive watch, the mission of the dive watch is also consistent with the comfort of the user, as the timepiece is designed to be worn on a wet, sweaty, or otherwise gritty marine aquatic wrist, and I have to say that it sits perfectly, 43.5 millimeters across the round of the case, not including crown or crown guards. It's relatively slim, all things considered. The timepiece is 13.5 millimeters thick, so yeah, it can slip underneath a dress cuff. Any attire or situation that would be compatible with a Rolex Submariner, including the office, is perfectly appropriate in this watch. It's a 43.5, but it doesn't look or wear that way. From lug to lug, it's a remarkably compact 50 millimeters. 50 millimeters across the wrist is good for your 17 centimeter and smaller circumference wrists. I like to keep a watch under that size for a wrist around the range of my own. But the key thing here is that because it does have a rather cushion-like profile with these broad, oversized lugs, it spreads its mass even more than it would conventionally, such that there really is no pressure point or hot spot. And you'll note that the strap is a beautifully made piece. You can see it is very slim in profile, ultra supple and smooth. It actually has a vanilla scent to it, so they really thought of everything, going out of their way to give you a sense that this is something special. And you know what? It looks and it feels the part. You can see the relieved portions underneath, allowing the wrist to breathe, allowing sweat, oil, grit, and heat to escape on a hot day. You'll also note that the strap is beautifully contoured to match the swell of the lugs. It is a bespoke strap, so you are limited to Oris factory options. However, the bracelet will afford you long-term durability such that if you never want to purchase another strap, you'll never have to. Now, the strap does not have to be cut. That is one great advantage of Oris's system. You can see there's a strap minder underneath the clasp, allowing you to take in or take out the strap and also eliminating the need for minder loops to hold excess strap. The clasp itself is rather substantial. Beautifully double finished with polish and satin. It does feature twin trigger actuation, which I always appreciate on a heavy sports watch for utmost security and insurance against accidental opening. Now, you'll note that there is a quick adjustment system. You simply squeeze both triggers and it's the effective replacement for a conventional dive clasp, giving you the incremental adjustability to also use it for micro sizing, as well as fitting over a thick winter coat or a wetsuit. Now, the case, as I mentioned, is almost more like a cushion case on the wrist, and you can see why. Just as broad as those lugs are, they do spread the mass of the watch broadly on the wrist. You can also see the Staghorn Coral imagery on the case back, as well as the individual numbering. It's nicely finished and it is comfortable. The watch features a handsome but simple exterior design, and in an age of oversized and overwrought dive watches trying too hard to stand out, this is refreshing. Now, of course, Oris is a German-Swiss brand and does have a sort of stolid Teutonic understatement about it, albeit with judicious use of highlights. You can see they are the minority finish on the case and bezel, but where they are, they stand out, they pop, accenting the case satin finish almost like jewelry. Value for money. You get a ceramic bezel on this watch, and as you can see, coral colored accents have been added, but they are practical. You do see the first critical 15 minutes of the dive bezel pop more so than if they were simply a different shade. You'll also note that the bezel has a satisfying detent. You can hear it, you can feel it. It is satisfying to the point that, eyes closed, you might suspect it is a more expensive timepiece. Not too hard to turn, and at the same time, you have a sense that the click is sufficiently stiff to prevent accidental movement. Now you can align that with the minute hand, and now you've got an impromptu 0 to 60-minute timer. I find for almost all events that I need to time, most of which, such as time between meetings or time before I have to go film a show, or even back in my college days, time remaining on a test, you can actually time that with a dive bezel, and it's easier to read and more practical with lower long-term service costs than a chronograph. Now you'll note an unusual feature of this watch being that it is a diving day date. You can see a small aperture, almost like a Rolex Sky Dweller, is filled with the coral orange color that circulates around the dial, and as you can see, there is a coral on blue monotone date disc. So you have a day date for those times when you are just desk diving, invaluable for dating memos or correspondence or emails. The dial also features all applied indices, which is an upscale touch for this accessibly priced timepiece. And yes, there is a hacking second, so you can pull out the crown, and when you pull it to a stop, you halt the seconds hand. Now you can synchronize to a known accurate reference time. It also features a double quick set, so you can quick set both the date and the day. Underneath, it is a Sellita SW220, tuned and regulated by Oris, automatic winding. It features the hacking and the double quick set, a 28,800 vibration per hour rate, and a 38-hour power reserve when fully energized. For the most part, you're going to find it is set it and forget it convenient if it's your everyday watch. You can see this handsome Oris Aquis Staghorn Restoration limited edition, water resistant to 300 meters, now available on our website.